Hello traders, welcome to the post-session review. Today is Tuesday, July 30th, and we had a winning day today, and I want to first bring in the spreadsheet and the account balance for transparency. Okay, so yeah, today we made 200 even, 200 there, and we adjusted yesterday's after the settlement, and then today we'll adjust tomorrow after the settlement. But we can see that overall 44.20 cents, 44.20 and 46 cents. We're pretty close there, and that's the balance. Now to the trades. So we came to the market today, and we realized, and we saw that the market had broke below this area here, making a new structure low overall and putting the market in with a bearish expectation moving forward. Now in the intraday order flow, although we did not have a proper correction here to the 38%, we did see that all the other swings did achieve the proper correction. The price was making new structure lows. We also see that momentum was pretty good, with the exception of this area right here. Projection was really good too, really good as well. I'm sorry, with the exception of this area here, but we didn't have a deep correction off of this, so I didn't really see this as much of a breakdown area. But as the market opened, the market very quickly accelerated right off of the open to come down, and then the buyers eventually came in. I took my first trade to the downside here after the rotation in a decent area of interest, and then the market went against me and made a new structure high against my entry. The swing was actually, this is the main swing from here to here. Let me make it a little fatter for you guys. We did achieve a higher close here, and that's the market telling us I want to move higher and I can, and that's a big heads up that this market is changing direction when you have an expectation failure, because your next expectation is not for the market to push higher. Nonetheless, we did make the new structure high. I didn't get taken out by a couple of points, which triggered my graceful exit rules. We're not in a position to add to our trade yet, from an account value standpoint. So we had to make the best of what we have, which is a graceful exit based on how our where entry was. So as price started moving in favor, once it closed in positive territory, I was able to start trailing on decision candle, and we ended up taking a small 3-point hit here. Okay, so once we came back to test the highs, we never got back to be able to offer me a nice entry long, because at this point is where we would have technically been looking for an entry, but I was already in a trade short and looking to possibly get out of it. So it didn't offer me an opportunity to get in, and then the price went up to make another new structure high, and we also didn't get a deep enough correction to help me participate here. And then the market came up to make another new structure high and had a 100% correction. Okay, I then got in the trade here, and as price moved up, I could have trailed here on the most immediate one-to-one. I did not, because price made a proper correction off of the longer clear low, clear high, projecting these forward. As you can see, forgot to do this. As you can see, the market came here a little bit higher, produced an extension here, had a proper correction. So now we're looking for this to project it forward. So I was looking for a profit target up in this area. So as price came down and started moving up, I did not get to the break. I did get to the break even, giving the trade more room to work towards more extended targets to the high side. I ended up getting taken out at a break even. And then price tested the highs again here, came back down. Sorry, I got taken out here, and then I entered again. And as price got to this area up here that the sellers were engaged in trying to defend, I got to the break even, and boom, I got taken out again. So in these two trades, we made up the loss from here, the graceful exit. So we ended up being, zero for the day, break even day, no point higher, no point lower, And then as price came back in here, I saw that the buyers were very invested in this area. Okay, and as price came in and gave me a rotation, it was a less favorable entrance because it was more expensive. But the bottom line here, guys, is that you can see that off of the same swing, I had 1, 2, 3 entries, you know, and it's one of those things. So does your trade plan have you getting into a trade there if the conditions of your trade plan are met again and again and again within the same swing? The answer is yes. So if the answer is yes, then your trade plan says to take the trade, you need to take the trade and manage it per those rules. So there was a question a few weeks back asking whether I re-enter when price takes me out at a break even. The answer is yes, you know, and I did it here 3 times. So it was important for me to take that trade and to manage it as I needed to. So that trade netted us 40 points, and it gave us a nice gain. Now I want you to also remember, since we started trading this smaller account, and what do we harp on? Risk, reward, risk, reward, risk, reward, right? Look at how we had 1 loser here, 2 losers here, and a break even, giving us a losing day yesterday. And then we had a graceful exit here, a break even here, a break even here. How 1 trade nearly erased the last 6 trades. That's the power of risk reward. That's the power that we have, or the advantage that we have when we trade, and that's why the losses don't matter. Because when 1 trade erases the last 4 or 5 trades, or at the very least the last 2 trades, you're only enhancing the potential for your account to grow at a very, very nice rate, and also giving you the best optimal chance of recovering from the losses or from the drawdown. It just simply does not matter. I spoke at length about that yesterday, and how all we need to do is that when you are facing adversity and you're facing some drawdown or some losses, or just the price is just not cooperating very well, it's just a matter of keep executing, keep following your rules. Okay, because we have tremendous risk reward advantage. We have the expectation on our side, and because of that, long term, it is almost impossible to lose money unless you start being undisciplined, unless you start wanting to make changes or do anything that's outside of your trade plan. Okay, so it's just a matter of keep executing. And I'm going to bring the spreadsheet in again so you can see that. You know, this was 1 trade, 200 points. Okay, look at the loss here. Look at the gain here. This was 1 trade. Remember we talked about that, how 1 trade nearly erased. So this is 1 trade, and this is 1 trade. And look at, you know, what an impact it causes. That 1 trade can almost eliminate the losses altogether. That's extremely powerful, and that's why risk reward is so important in your trading. We're almost back to the point where we can trade 2 contracts again, because remember we talked about that threshold being $4,500, and anything above that, I'm willing to get aggressive again and enter with 2 contracts, so we can propel this account forward. Nothing's changed, and it's just a matter of you got to stay on your game plan, you got to stay on your trade plan, and you got to stay disciplined, and you got to stay on that money management, and all you got to do is just keep executing, and good things will eventually follow. It's literally that simple, guys. So that's another quick post-session review. Here tomorrow we have a live stream where we'll get to see some live trading, some live commentary from the swings, and I hope to see all of you there. I don't think there's anything else that I'd like to cover with you today. So tomorrow, please join us for the live stream and bring all your questions. I will be answering them live, and we're going to do some trading, and hopefully we'll have a profitable day. But if we don't, at the very least, we're going to follow our trade plan. We're going to follow our money management strategy, and we know that we'll be back in the black soon. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for following along. I'm excited to show you guys, you know, the discipline that it takes to trade at a high level, the discipline that it takes to overcome adversity, to overcome trades that are just kind of working against you sometimes, where you feel like you're not being efficient, you're not being productive at times, that you're stuck in the mud. All those things are just emotion that are just trying to take you off of your game plan. Okay, the empowered trader, the professional trader, doesn't see that. The empowered trader sees, okay, where's my next opportunity? Where's my next trading opportunity? Where is it that I need to enter? And then I need to manage my trade per my rules. Because if I do that, then the outcome is going to be good, and the past is in the past and will stay in the past, won't come into the future to haunt me. All right, guys? Super important, super important. So, looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow and answering your questions. Have a good day and good trading.